Good morning and welcome to our lesson today. This is basically just a summary of what we've been able to capture in the course of this week. Okay, yeah, for the beginner, we were able to look at the 6 consonants in shorthand. We were also able to look at the positioning, yeah, where we said we've got first place, second place, and third place. We've also been able to look at the S circle. Yeah, we're also able to look at the joining of consonants, where we said when you're joining consonants, you don't lift the pencil. We were also able to look at the vowel. We mentioned the long vowel A, yeah, which is represented by a heavy dot and is a second place vowel, which means the outline is on the line. And the vowel is indicated in the middle of that outline. We're also able to look at the S circle, which we say it is a circle. It's a small circle written on the same or on the anti-clockwise direction, yeah, which represent the S or the says for words like pays, days, dates. We're also able to look at the short vowel A. Now the short vowel A is represented by a light dot, yeah, to represent the sound of A. Jet, bet, det, yeah. A, it's a short A, which is represented by a light dot and is a second place vowel, which means that the outline is written on the line and the vowel is indicated in the middle of that outline. We're also able to look at the short forms, which we say these are the frequently used words. Frequently used words means words that get to occur often when you're having a conversation. Yeah. So what happens is that these words, we don't indicate the vowels. Yeah. Because they keep occurring oftenly, we don't indicate the or we don't put the vowel signs. Okay, then we also mentioned about the phrasing where we said sometimes we could join words, yeah, but you can only join words when they join easily. So we mentioned about those words. Then we were also able to look at the phrasing. Yeah, so the phrasing is now where we are able to look at those words that we can join easily, like words like but, which, who is, it is, etc. Then I also mentioned to you about the punctuation. Now we said in shorthand, we don't use the ordinary punctuation like the dot to represent a full stop. We've got our own punctuation marks that we use. For example, for question marks, for full stops, when you want to begin a paragraph, when you want to underline, you don't underline with a straight line, you put it like a zigzag. Yeah, you also indicate, you're also able to look at the punctuation for dashes, brackets, etc. Okay, so for Phoebe, what I didn't do is that I never gave you the assignment for the short form and phrasing practice. Yeah, so now with this, I hope you've been able to do the reading practice. The reading practice 1, 2, yeah, and 3, 4, 5. I hope you've been able to do that. So if you've managed to do that, I think I will ask you to send me that assignment via WhatsApp. Then I want you to do the short form and phrasing practice. Yeah, the short form and phrasing practice. Now, this one, you will write the sentence, you write it as number 1, the way it is on the book. Then below it, you're going to translate it in longhand. So you write it in shorthand, and then beneath it, you translate it in shorthand. So I want you to do short form and phrasing practice. Yeah, that's just that. Then you send me that assignment. So I will also guide you as we move forward. Now the next section is for the ones who are doing the halving. Yeah, the halving where we're able to say you only halve when you want there's a following sound of T and D. Yeah, so in words of one syllable, you have for light strokes, they are halved only to indicate a following T only. So for words like tight, yeah, note, thought, yeah, we also say we halve in words of one syllable. A darker stroke may be halved to indicate a following D only. So we've got words like bad, yeah, so it's been B and a D. So the sound, the heavy strokes like B, D, yeah, like jade, J and D. So those are halved to indicate a following D only for a darker stroke. Then we also say a stroke may be halved to indicate a following T or D only in words of more than one syllable. So we've got words like arrived. So there's R and V and a D. Yeah, then we've got a word like method. There's a th and a D. We've got guaranteed, etc. We also mentioned about the halving and thickening. Now here is where you halve, but the outline also is thickened, meaning it is darker. So you halve and thicken for strokes M and N. They are halved and thickened to indicate a following D. So these ones are halved to indicate a following D. The M and N for words like made, yeah, seemed. There is a C, M, and a D. So that D is halved to indicate the sound of the D. So we mentioned words. If a word is followed, if a sounded vowel comes before an L and a D or between an R and a D, the full strokes are written and therefore we don't have this. So for words like delayed, there's an L, A, which is a vowel A, and a D. We've got followed, we've got valued, etc. Okay, then of course we mentioned about the nominal numbers. So for words like 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, we use those halvings to indicate this, the nominal ordinal numbers. So we also mentioned that there are circumstances under which we don't halve, yeah, because of making sure that we don't confuse the short forms should and. So we write the outline as it is. So a word like rate, you don't have the R for T, so you write it as an upward R stroke and a complete T stroke. You also say in words where the effect of a halved strokes would not clearly show, the halving principle is not used. So you've got those words there. Then we also say sometimes we might need to disjoin, or where we write these words separately but very close to each other. Yeah, so we say to indicate the half length of a T or D must be disjoined following another T or D. So for words like dated, yeah, dictated, there's a T and another D. So those words are joined but written close to each other. Okay, so we also mentioned about those short forms there. We've also mentioned about the phrases, the intersection. Now we talk about the national affairs, F, yeah, the National Bank, Enquire, etc. So up to that point, I hope we are very clear. Now, the other thing that I also want to tell you is that now we would be resuming, especially for practical lessons like shorthand, CDP, and also ICT. So you might be required to come to school when we have those specific units. Otherwise, this will be communicated to you, yeah, beginning on Monday. Otherwise, for the new group, I mean, for the group that we've been continuing online, we might continue doing the theory lessons online, but you could be required to come for practical lessons. So we'll guide you accordingly. Okay. Otherwise, I want to take this opportunity to wish you guys a very nice weekend. Bye for now.